gonna let me in? What do I gotta do?
Dive in that cold water. All right. This is where I come out here to talk to my ancestors.
So this is my home. Welcome
This
to my
is beautiful.
home.
It's a dry town, but there's a bar.
Design of my dad, that stance of protection.
Once the sun goes down, that's the time when the spirits come out. That's the time when the sorcery happens.
This is what you'd call the hood. In your culture, if you get divorced, the woman gets absolutely everything.
Yeah.
It's quite an honor to have a visitor come in.
That's very impressive. You guys are holding on to your language out here.
Our elders go by the stars.
We actually had a white guy attend the sacred rituals.
Your calendar is not the same. It doesn't end on the 31st of
No.
December.
The necklace that we make, we sold it at least 3,500.
This is our roots. This is where we belong.
Good morning, guys. In the United States, there are 356 Indian reservations, with the Navajo Nation being the largest. But there are many other smaller tribes that people have little understanding about, such as the Zuni Pueblo tribe in New Mexico. That's where we're going today. It's right on the border of the Navajo Nation, but they have a different language, culture, food, traditions, way of life. And until recently, it's pretty much closed off to the camera in the outside world, but we got an invite. So we're going in and trying to get a better understanding of what the Zuni Pueblo tribe is like. Let's do this. All right, guys, so really amazing geography out here, far removed from everything. It has a special feel. I don't know what that is yet, can't put my finger on it. This is another interesting, exotic corner of the United States that I think 0.01% really know about. So here we are. It's like a different universe out here, for me at least.
Pretty much,
coming
yeah.
in here. You're far removed.
Yeah, we're pretty isolated. We're the farthest away from the other pueblos up north. So this is my home. Welcome
This
to my
is beautiful.
home. My husband, he does
large.
taxidermy too, so he done those.
Oh, wow. Klyber, what are you making here?
I am making some moccasins. Get a full pattern, and that's the finished result of it.
Traditional wear.
Of the moccasin.
They use this for like the ceremonial.
I was like saying to my wife, like, I'm gonna try a marathon today. So I was like sitting there with a big bag of Dorito chips, eating away, and a can of soda. I was like, the day of the race, I was like, oh, what did I get myself into?
So, week of training before the marathon?
Yeah. Just one
So
more
from couch to
yeah.
Albuquerque Marathon, under 4 hours.
Under 4 hours. Our great grandmother, well, she grew out to be 108 years old, and she always used to tell us when we were growing up that she was one of the runners that went to Pueblo to deliver messages for the tribal leaders.
So that's how it worked here, between different Pueblo tribes, you just run between them?
Yes.
That's how
Okay.
they communicated
Like,
back then.
how many miles?
From here to Hopi, it's at least 4 days of running. So
That's cool.
I think that's where I kind of got that idea of, hey, I think I can do it. She did it. What makes me not?
Right, Granny could do it, I can do it.
It's our sacred mountain.
Okay, this mountain over here?
Yeah, that one right there. It has a lot of stories. I'm pretty sure you heard about the Great Flood.
Sure.
Well, we have our own story. A long time ago, they said there was a great flood. It filled the earth with water, and the people went up all the way to the top. And as it was receding, the water, it made those marks. There's 2 rocks that formed. It's a brother and a sister, and they sacrificed themselves. They thought that was something that would help the water line go down.
Oh, really? So they sacrificed themselves to get the water down to what,
Yeah.
save the people? Or?
Yeah, and then eventually they said that they turned into those rock formations. My daughter, she cleaned her room. She's like, there's somebody coming. Can you see my crowns?
Okay, let's see it. Oh, her crowns. Tell me about those.
She does beauty pageants. all around the country. So this one here, this is Supreme Me. This was actually the last one we went to in Atlanta.
So you get out and about. You're all over the country?
Oh, yeah. This one, too. This was her highest title, so she's won so far.
Proud mother?
Oh, yeah. She's very well spoken. A lot better than I am.
Are we going to meet her today?
Yeah, she's in school right now.
When you live out here, do you feel very connected to Arizona or the United States? Or do you like, we're in our own nation?
I think we are in our own nation, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're just kind of so adapted to, you know, just kind of focusing on our own Pueblo cultural activities and values and norms within here.
Yeah.
So we're kind of just adapted to one here.
Right, but even though you see all these influences from the outside, like the UPS, the US flag,
Oh, yeah.
you're connected in a way, but disconnected.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's interesting.
We're our own, like, sovereign nation.
So this was built by the Spaniards?
Yeah, this is a Catholic church. Inside they have really beautiful murals.
What is this up here? That's an oven.
Yeah, that's an outdoor oven. They heat it up with wood. There's a hole in there. Underneath there's ashes. And so when they heat it up, the coils underneath, it heats up. So it creates this nice warm oven.
You just said for Thanksgiving you put your turkeys in there?
Yeah, just,
So you guys celebrate Thanksgiving?
yeah.
I wouldn't have thought, to be honest.
Yeah, we celebrate Thanksgiving. And, you know, Zunis like to eat.
Is that a Zuni thing, or do you think a lot of native
I think a
cultures
lot of
do that?
Yeah, a lot of cultures celebrate Thanksgiving. It's not like we're haters about it.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just a big festive time.
Yes.
Meet up, eat food. All right. Dancing area.
Kachina dancing.
Okay. So the dancing is a big part of your culture.
Yeah, cultural dancing. And this is one of the kivas here.
What? Explain what a kiva is
A
exactly.
kiva is an establishment society for men to all gather up and do their religious practices in their place.
Okay, so do you go here?
No, I don't. But that particular kiva was the ones that built our home.
And your religion is what? How would you explain it? It's more of a spiritual.
It's both spiritual and religious practices.
Is there any Catholicism in it or no?
No.
No. We that's what we got away from during that
Pueblo
Spanish-
Revolt.
Yeah, during the revolt.
Okay.
That's what they were. The Spaniards were trying to come in and have us stop doing our religious practices.
Back then, when the treaties were signed after the Pueblo Revolt, they basically said we're not gonna enforce. We just want like some sort of peace, but we're not gonna enforce that you have to be this way.
Gotcha.
Because they burned a lot of sacred artifacts and stuff. That's the reason why the revolt happened.
You had the revolt back in the 1600s, but in more recent times, let's say, late 1800s, how did you guys retain your land? Because you have beautiful land up here. How did you hold on to this?
I think it just had to do with the treaties. They wanted to come back, but in order for them to come back, they couldn't like take the land.
Okay.
They just kind of left us alone. There was another village out a little bit further. It's called Hawiku. Back then, before the Pueblo Revolt, there was a battle of Hawiku. But that was with Coronado. He heard in a rumor that Zuni had gold.
Okay.
And it was a seven cities of gold. But of course, we have no gold.
You don't have gold. What? Do you have any resources out here?
No.
I don't
No oil?
know, nothing. I wish we did. Majority of the population here, they're all self-employed. They all make jewelry, fetishes, pottery, anything they can do. Basically, they're survivors out here.
Because there aren't many jobs.
There's no jobs. There's the tribal building jobs, but of course they want to hire professionals, and it's kind of hard to be at that level when there's not much people that went to school.
Okay.
Like you see, we're very secluded, so
Yeah.
if you take somebody that's always been here out, they're gonna suffer because they don't know how to take care of themselves out that way. We want them to get out and go see the world, go get an education, come back, and show the people it's okay. There's another world out there. I think that's kind of like what we're doing with our girls. My parents always took care of me when I was young. So when I went out to go live my life, I got a job in Albuquerque, and I lasted about 3 years, and I decided to come back home.
Okay, how does it feel being back?
I like it because, I have my family. We're fortunate enough to have jobs in Zuni. And
Okay. What are your jobs, if you don't mind me asking?
well, I take care of my uncle, but I also take care of disabled individuals.
Okay. What about you, Clay?
I'm a tribal judge.
Shut up.
No, I work for the Zuni BIA.
Okay.
Forestry. I'm in charge of the fuse crew that goes out and do fuel reductions out in the forest.
That's a great job to have out here, huh?
Yeah. Before I used to work for the Forest Service as a hotshot. For 15 years.
For those that don't know, the hotshot is the guy that jumps into the wildfire or near it, right? And tries to, basically you're out there with a pick trying to...
Yes. It's called a professional elite wildland firefighter at a high endurance level.
So the stars out here at night must be unbelievable.
Yeah.
But you were saying off camera that no one's going to come out here at night because of the spirits?
Yeah. They say they'll get hunted.
Hunted?
Yeah. There's some spirits out there, they say, that could mess with you and all that, just because it's their territory more like.
Sure.
Yeah.
But during daytime, it's fine.
During daytime, it's fine. Yeah.
Once the sun goes down, everybody's supposed to be at home because that's the time when the spirits come out. That's the time when, the sorcery happens and all that stuff.
The sorcery, can you explain that a little, or is that something not to talk about?
Well, I don't know much about it, but, there are stories. There's things that happen, just like, the Navajos have a skinwalker.
Yeah.
They were used in good and bad, but...
The skinwalker, and then the crow have, the little men, I believe they're called?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And the Siberian Yupik dude, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here they have,
Can
when
we get out?
when we emerged from the four worlds, we had to bring the witch with us because he had control over the rain cloud. When he came out from the underworld, he said, I have to go with you because I have the rain cloud.
Okay.
But if you don't have the rain cloud, how are you going to grow your crops and whatever you're going to survive on?
Right.
And he also explained that he's the one that will keep the world balanced. He had the power to eliminate people, and we had the power to bring them in. But if there's nobody to take out, then the world will just always be full.
Clyde, is this where you did 2 days of marathon training before the big race?
Yeah, actually the road we came in on.
So would you say on the reservation, this specific area is the most sacred site?
The whole surrounding outskirts of Zuni is very sacred. It's protecting the whole middle village. It's how it was explained to me from my grandparents. And those are the same exact stories that we're trying to pass down to our new generation.
How is the new generation taking it?
The new generation, the good thing about it is that they're teaching the Zuni language in schools now.
So the youth speak Zuni?
Yes. The majority
all
of them,
or?
not all of them. We've always been speaking Zuni in our homes, in the Kiva areas.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something that's really mandated for everybody to be speaking Zuni.
How would you say hello in Zuni?
Keshe.
Keshe.
Yeah, keshe.
Thank you.
Elako.
It's not related to Navajo at all?
No.
Totally different.
Totally different.
But that's very impressive. You guys are holding on to your language out here. I think that's quite rare, isn't it? With a lot of the reservations?
Yeah, it is. If I can recall, there's some Native Americans that's completely lost their language.
But how is your tribe managing to hold on to it?
It's got to start from the parents itself. They got to teach them as soon as when they're, right from birth. You guys want to go up a little more?
Sure. I feel like with Cly, a little more means we're going to the top.
You figured him out already.
this is where I come out here to talk to my ancestors a lot. Just because the sacred mountain is right here, and it's like I can only be out here to communicate with them and to release a lot of the stress, the pressure, and everything else that I'm going through. Hours of meditation, just walking up here and just sacrificing everything that I have to get to the top, and then letting everything go. So that's my way of understanding that there is something out here that's listening to me.
You guys are obviously so connected to your land, and it makes perfect sense why. Some of the reservations, they don't have total control of their land. Some stuff can be sold off, some stuff is homesteaded. Mm-hmm. The federal government has some weird stuff going on with resources. What about your reservation? Are you guys pretty secure here? Are the lines firm, or what's that story?
I feel that the land here has always been Zuni land, and it's well secured that there's no way anybody's gonna ever take it away.
So there's no homesteading?
No
on
homesteading
any of
on
this?
any
Okay.
of this. Yeah, it's always tribal land.
Every tribe is different how they're governed, from what I've seen. So whoever's done that job here is doing a good job, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're going up to some springs here?
Yes,
Okay.
there's a natural spring.
So that was super interesting in the car. We were talking about gender roles. In your culture, if you get divorced, the woman gets absolutely everything.
Yeah, for the most part, no prenups. In our culture, it's supposed to be the man leaves his mom's house and goes bees with the wife and the children. Never the woman leaves the house and goes be with the man's family. When my boys get old enough, I expect them to leave and go help establish a home with the wife.
Okay.
And if it doesn't work out, then, they leave and start from scratch.
They give up everything.
Yeah.
I've been told some tribes, some reservations are like anarchy and others are like full control. How would you say it is here?
Our tribe is pretty much, they're pretty much open to anything.
Okay.
If we were an enclosed tribe, we wouldn't allow any visitors or anybody attending our cultural events.
Okay.
So we're pretty much open.
Okay.
We welcome everybody.
In our history, we actually had a white guy attend the sacred rituals.
Oh,
Cushing.
How was that?
He was actually a part of
He was the first non-Zuni to be a bow priest.
A bow priest?
Yes.
What's it?
Bow priest is an individual that's high in religious sectors.
Okay.
So he was appointed to be one of those.
So this is
So
your
if you wanna
natural
be
spring?
one, you can be one right now since we're all here.
You're gonna let me in? What do I gotta do? What do you need me to do?
Dive in that cold water.
All right, I'll be baptized again. Okay, so you're just getting fresh water.
Yeah, actually it tastes pretty good. I remember coming when I was a little girl, and this whole area was just gushing with water. And then that water will eventually come here, and there was a pond there, and that's where it just led to the stream over there.
This next snowstorm comes in, this whole thing's probably gonna collapse.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
You said if you have children, everything goes to your daughters?
Yes, because you know how I said the boys have to leave the house?
Okay.
They go to live with the girl who has her own home.
Okay.
So if you have more than one daughter, you have to make sure you have other arrangements for the other two.
So there are a lot of family issues with that? Or?
they all want the house or.
So would you say it's material out here?
Oh
in a way?
yeah, a lot of these disputes are more material because, you know, there's family heirlooms that are being passed down.
Okay.
So if there's one, you better make sure you have more than one to pass down to the other sisters.
So you have 3 daughters.
Yeah. So
You
right
gotta
now,
set up a strategy, huh?
yeah. So one
Who's
for
getting the
sure,
truck?
yeah, one for sure is gonna have to stay at our house where we're at,
Okay.
and we have another piece of land that can probably be divided into 2. So they're gonna probably end up doing what I did, make my own home.
That's what you did. You had the land and then you built the
Yeah,
home?
yeah. But I don't have any sisters.
Okay.
So my mom was like, wow, what's going to happen to my house? You know, but the only reason why we had to have a house was because, you know, when I was telling you about the religious commitment that him and my dad have, we needed a big house to be able to take care of a lot of the events that happened during that year.
What are the events happening at your house?
Cooking, a lot of cooking, because he's going to be in prayer. The women go to the men at the kiva, feed the men that are in there, and
How often does this happen?
every 4 years for him. So
Starts in January, ends in December.
So every 4 years there's a celebration that's for 1 year.
Yeah.
it's actually every year. It's just that there's different groups that handle the other years.
When you have a year of ceremony, is that like you do something every day or something every week, or how does that work?
Yeah, every day. From first thing in the morning is like a prayer, and then in the evening a prayer, and then there's certain times in the month that I have to be fully committed to doing my full prayer and the actual ceremony at an establishment, like at a kiva. And that's where the women come in to do the traditional cooking. Meaning for the ladies to be cooking is to give offering. The men give the offering to the people that has passed, to give them thanks and all that.
He says, "What's up?"
Whose place is this?
This is my mom's house.
Oh, cool.
This is the house that I was supposed to inherit. Let's see.
How you doing, sir?
Hello.
Hi,
This is my dad.
Peter.
Peter.
Nice to meet you. Raylan.
It's my wife and I. And this is where everything happens. It's called a knife wind design. It's a more of a traditional design.
Your father made that.
Yeah. He made the whole thing and he heated it up and just flipped it over and burned it onto a piece of cardboard. But see, this is more different than my design of my dad. But it represents the same knife wind design. That stands of protection.
Protection for the home, protection from
Any negativity,
spirits.
any negativity that might be coming towards you, or I always go out in the morning before I start anything. I do offerings. I ask for guidance, make it a good day for everybody, and just just the survival part of it, where there's always these issues that we arise, and for us to make the right choices and say the right thing.
So this is your full income. This is how you live now.
Yeah.
Do you want more work or no? You have plenty.
We have plenty, and then the age.
How long does it take to make one of these?
This is taking me at least 3 days now, and my wife is probably gonna inlay them for maybe a week.
If you don't mind me asking, what's that cost at a store, or if someone bought that at a show?
The necklace that we made in this design, we sold it at least $3,500,
Okay.
and then the whole set was like $5,000. So
That's
that
a
meaning the bracelet,
great business.
the necklace and earrings.
Okay.
So yeah, we're very fortunate that we have this knowledge of what our parents taught us, I guess. I was raised up by a traditional parents. Okay. They were always committed to keeping on traditions and teaching us, the values of our culture and our religion.
What percentage in the town here? How many people here, roughly?
About 36,000.
Roughly around there.
36,000
Yeah.
on the reservation?
Yep.
What percentage do you think keep their more traditional ways like you're talking about versus those that don't?
Oh,
Probably like 90 at least.
90 keep it? Wow.
Yeah, they all, have at least the knowledge of what we're here for.
Zuni Pueblo, you're right next to the Navajo Nation. I mean, it's right there.
Yeah.
But do you stay very separate, or do you associate with them a lot, or?
A long time ago, it was like conflict between our tribes.
Sure.
Them raiding our community, taking the women, and vice versa.
Vice versa. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that we've gone to a point where we don't need that no more. We're past that. For me, it's the past is past. There has to be love now instead of war. That saying. And I think that really helps you spiritually and mentally. That you can always encounter somebody that's been an enemy in the past. You can have that friendship connection. Now. I think the mountain over there, Kendra probably pointed out.
Yeah, we were just there.
They used to live up there when the Great Flood.
Yeah.
Also, if, a long time, like when they still had the encounters with the enemy, it was hard for them to.
Oh, they lived at the top of the plateau.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, these are my grandson and his friends.
Your granddad's the coolest guy in town. He's making a YouTube video. Do you know that? He's all over social media now.
They like to be outdoors. Right after school, they go out in the forest. They hunt for antlers like those.
Oh, yeah? Where do you go hunting? Out there near the mountain there? Or that way?
Anywhere around.
Okay. Who's driving? This guy? This is what happened last time he drove. The flat tire, door came off.
Yeah, we were fixing his ride from taking this apart and putting it together for him. This guy dance.
You guys dance?
Yeah.
There's two types. The more traditional religious type that's only done in the plaza.
Okay.
But we also have social dancing where it can be done for the public.
Do you guys speak Zuni?
Yeah.
They just know girl words, how to lure a girl in.
You know the words to get ladies? What does shoo means? Let's go out to the mountain and look at the sunset. What is this called here?
This is called the Ancestral Rich Treasures of Zuni, or we call it ARTS for short. If you see a lot of the galleries down the road here, they're actually owned by outsiders, and none of them are Zuni owned.
None of these are Zuni owned down here?
No, they're not. So a group of artists here in Zuni started this gallery in hopes to really promote their artwork on their own. So come on in. So I'm a two-dimensional artist.
Okay.
I do a lot of paintings, graphic design on computers. Basically, all of these here are some of the work that I've done.
Oh, nice, Keith.
So this one is a glimpse of Mesa Verde. Pretty important to Zuni people, and this is one of those things that I wanted to paint.
Mesa Verde is important to Zunis?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty far away, too.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ancestral sites within the Southwest region that Zuni has a lot of connections to. There's a whole migration that Zuni had to do prior to settling here. And so a lot of those historical sites around the Southwest are related to the Zuni people.
So you have different artists, obviously a different style here.
Yeah.
So if someone's coming through the area, is there a website I can direct them to?
Yes, it's called ZuniPuebloArt.org.
I'll leave that in the description, guys.
One of the biggest things permanent in Zuni is fetish carvings. Those are like little replicas of different animals. They're like little talisman that people carry around.
Oh, okay.
And so these are some of those fetish carvings that some of the families have done.
So someone could see one on your website and order it online?
Yes.
These are very cool. So here's an example. And so what does this mean in Zuni? exactly? Is this like a good luck omen or something, or?
Yeah, so this one is an eagle. It represents the direction of up and is one of the messengers of the gods. That one's a horse. It's good luck for people that have livestock. This one is actually a bear. It's also a symbol of strength and also healing.
So you don't have like a real bad neighborhood in your reservation?
Not really.
Like a real bad
I think
one?
my mom's area is pretty bad because in that area there's a lot of alcohol and bootlegging because Zuni is a dry town, or
Yeah.
it's a dry village. So someone is the provider there.
Especially if they can't get a ride to the
Yeah,
bar.
if they can't get a ride to the bar,
It's a dry town, but there's a bar.
there's a bar off the reservation.
Oh, you got to just go
Yeah,
over
you
the
gotta
line.
drive. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like 15-minute drive. so-
Okay. So
yeah.
a lot of people always ask me, how does it work with housing? Like, is the government paying for this housing, or are these people paying for the housing, or it just depends?
They don't pay for it.
The government doesn't.
The government don't pay for it anymore.
Oh,
No.
anymore,
It-
no.
The government built it, but
Okay.
for the household.
Do you have a housing shortage here, like a lot of
Oh, yeah.
places? You
Yeah.
do.
So this is like the hood right there.
This is what you'd call the hood.
Yeah.
And for anyone living in there, I'm not clowning on you. I mean, there's
No.
some nice people in there,
There's
I'm
some
sure.
nice people in there.
Nice
Only
people.
when they're drunk. When they get drunk, they're not so nice.
Sure.
And there's, I don't know where she's going. Hold on. Oh,
Hello.
this is my mom.
Hello. Your son has given us a great tour today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And those are my nephews and nieces, or my daughters. Those are my two daughters.
So is it weird seeing American flags here or no? Like when you see the flags, some people are into
They're-
it, some people aren't, or?
They're just very patriotic, these guys.
So
They're-
some Zunis are going to be very patriotic to the U.S.
Yeah, because especially if they served in the military.
Okay,
Not many people serve in the military, but when they do,
right.
they're very proud of it. And you
Okay.
know, of course, they have every right to because they've seen a lot. They went through a lot.
Now, whose house is this?
This is his mom's.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Yeah. Clyde's brother.
Clyde's brother.
Yeah.
Who served in the military here?
That's my nephew.
Okay.
He's in Oklahoma, and in here is my niece cooking. She's a
Hello.
cook, and then after work, she's still a cook.
Yeah. And this gentleman?
He's my in-law. In-law. She
Great.
takes me to work, so I'm on.
You're the prep cook? We have Navajo Nation, which is all of that. Hopis are inside. Then we have Zuni, which is very clear. And then the checkerboard.
Yeah,
What's the checkerboard?
sort of like partials. That Hopi here, Navajo here, Hopi again, and all that stuff. So it's called the checkerboard.
Why is it set up like that?
It's been handed down from generation to generation that the Hopi Indians own these land, the Navajo own these land, and you know.
You guys are pretty set with your boundaries, right? No issues
Yes.
with that?
We have recently, the Zunis bought a piece of land which are called the Zuni Heavens.
Your reservation is expanding,
Not the whole reservation.
but
it's
you
just
bought a
partial,
little
yeah.
part?
Yeah. With that new lands going on, we had to do a lot of archaeological clearances of who really owned that thing.
Really? Okay, so you actually do archaeological digs to see whose pottery and whatever's there?
We did a lot of excavation in the new lands area. The burial grounds and all that stuff like pottery shirts and everything
Yeah.
was covered on that thing. In order to have the clearance on that thing, for them to move in, we had to do that.
Okay, so I'm sitting next to a Zuni princess. Tell me about that. Well, she's good away from
Go
me now,
ahead
but-
and introduce yourself in Zuni.
Zuni
Say your
princess.
Zuni name.
Kota laga diganawa. Hot Layla Pakatiwa Lechina. Hot Hat Elegant the big quagga. I'm not the word the Nakundan Gagalica Awan Chatla. Our fashion hour Kendra Favorite Pakatiwa Lechina. Hello, my name is Layla Pakatiwa. I am 8 years old. My parents are in Turkey and a child of the eagle. My parents' names are Kendra and Clyde Pakatiwa.
Booyah!
Oh yeah. That's cool. You know what that's called? It's called a dead kitty. Isn't that crazy? That's the name for it. That's terrible.
So he killed my kitty?
I didn't. No kitty killing here.
This is the Red Roof Inn?
Yeah, this is the Red Roof Inn.
What is that?
It's a jailhouse. Like, you know, like the hotel Red Roof Inn?
They have a free continental breakfast?
Yeah.
Lunch and dinner.
This here is one of like the Shalico houses that something similar to the one that we have.
When will your Shalico happen?
November 26th. It's like the end of the year celebration for the Zuni people.
So your calendar is not the same. It doesn't end on the 31st of
No,
December?
no.
When,
No, it doesn't.
when does your calendar end?
Our calendar ends on the winter solstice time. When it starts is when the new year starts. So that will be when the whole village is festing. Festing means they're doing an offering and doing prayer stick meditation.
So everybody fasts?
Yeah, everybody is fasting for spending and for non-fatty food
Okay, for how long?
for 10 days. 4 days of non-fatty food and spending for 4.
Spending as in no shopping?
No shopping and littering outside or burning or anything like that.
Anything to do with Mother Earth.
Yes.
What about eating?
Eating, you can eat. You
Okay.
can, after the 4 days, you can eat greasy stuff. Like
After 4
meat.
days?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like a time for us to nourish our bodies. And cleansing and nourishing, purifying.
Are you really tied into astrology?
Yeah. Our elders go by the stars. You know, they're the ones who, you know, set everything like for when the winter solstice, summer solstice is gonna be by looking at the stars and knowing that the star had moved in a certain direction or a certain place at a certain time of the year. So that's how they're able to predict on when summer is, winter, spring, and autumn, and fall.
So it's different every
So
year?
it's different every year, yes.
And the whole prediction of the moons, full moons. They
Yeah.
know when months are passing by with the moons.
So the constellation is a big
Yes.
influence in your
Big
lives here.
influence in our lives here.
Is
yes.
that getting passed down from the elders?
Oh yeah, yes. The very high sector religious people are the ones that know the events and the calendars and all that just by the astronomy and stuff. But yeah, this is Zuni. I'm so glad you were able to come out here and get a little bit of an input from us on
thank
our
you.
culture, our people, and our land. It's quite an honor to have a visitor come and ask these kinds of things because we rarely are recognized as, Zuni, Native American, that, we are here and this is our roots, this is where we belong. So I'm so glad and honored to have you here to, have us share some of our thoughts with you. So I thank you a lot for coming out here.
Thank you. The honor's mine because you don't have to let me in. And you have to have enough trust that I come in with a camera and show this story like I saw. And so thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You guys are awesome.